Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari Tera Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtatashata Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prashtha Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivikasha Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prashtha Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Parshate Reshtar Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 16. Lord Parashuram destroys the world's ruling class. Text 20 to 23. So, first few shlokas have no purpose. I'll read myself, then after we'll repeat. Pituh kayena sandhaya shiradaya barhishi sarva deva mayam devam atmanam ayajanmakhai. Translation goes like this. Thereafter Parashuram joined his father's head to the dead body and placed the whole body and head upon kusha grass. By offering sacrifices, he began to worship Lord Vasudeva, who is the all-pervading supersoul of all the demigods and of every living entity. So this is here indicated. Sarva Deva Mayam Devam, that is Lord Vasudeva, Krishna. All right, then we have shloka 21-22. Tadau prachim disham hotre brahmane dakshinam disham advaryave praticim vai udgatre uttaram disham anyebhyo yavantara disha kashyapaya cha madhyatah aryavartam upadrashte sadasyebhyastatath param. Then the translation goes like this. After completing the sacrifice, the Lord Parashuram gave the eastern direction to the Hota as a gift, the south to the Brahma, the west to the Advaryu, the north to Udgata, and the four corners, north, southeast, northwest, and southwest to the other priests. He gave the middle to Kashyapa and the place known as Aryavarta to the Upadrashta. Whatever remained, he distributed among the sadhyas, the associate priests. Okay, purport we have here. The purport, the tract of land in India between the Himalaya mountains and the Vindhya hills is called Aryavarta. Can I read one more shloka with purport? Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think this one has a purport, right? Okay, please repeat. Tataham cham avabrita snanam vidhutam ashesham kilbishaham saraswatyam mahanadyam reje vyabraham iva amshuman tatascha viduta se shakil vishaham saraswatyam mahanadyam reje vyabra ivam shuman tatascha vabrita snanam vidhuta se shakil vishaham saraswatyam mahanadyam reje vyabra ivam shuman. Tataschava britasnana vidhuta se shakil vishaham saraswatyam mahanadyam reje vyabra ivam shuman. Tataschava britasnana viduta se shakil vishaham saraswatyam mahanadyam reje vyabra ivam shuman. Tataschavabritasnana vidhuta se shakil vishaham saraswatyam mahanadyam reje vyabra ivam shuman. Pantajis. Tataschavabritasnana viduta se shakil vishaham saraswatyam mahanadyam reje vyabra ivam shuman. Tataha, thereafter, cha, also, avabrita snana, by bathing after finishing the sacrifice. Vidhuta, cleansed. Asesha, unlimited. Kilbishaha, whose reaction of sinful activities. Saraswatyam, on the bank of the great river Saraswati. Mahanadyam, one of the biggest rivers in India. Reje, Lord Parashuram appeared. Vyabhra, cloudless. Iva Amshuman, like the sun. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. Thereafter, having completed the ritualistic sacrificial ceremonies, Lord Parashuram took the bath known as Avabrita Snana. Standing on the bank of the great river Saraswati, cleared of all sins, Lord Parashuram appeared like the sun in a clear, cloudless sky. Purport. As stated Bhagavad Gita 3.9, Yagyartat karmanyonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. Karma bandhana refers to the repeated acceptance of the material body after another, or one material body after another. The whole problem of life is this repetition of birth and death. Therefore, one is advised to work to perform yagya, meant for satisfying Lord Vishnu. Although Lord Parashuram was an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he had to account for sinful activities. Anyone in this material world, however careful he may be, must commit some sinful activities, even though he does not want to. For example, one may trample many small ants and other insects while walking on the street and killing many living beings unknowingly. Therefore, the Vedic principle Pancha Yagya, 5 kinds of recommended sacrifice, is compulsory. In this age of Kali, however, there is a great concession given to the people in general. Yagyai Sankirtana Prayaya, Yajanti hi Sumedasa. We may worship Lord Chaitanya, the hidden incarnation of Krishna. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam. Although he is Krishna himself, he always chants Hare Krishna and preaches Krishna consciousness. One is recommended to worship this incarnation by chanting the Sankirtan Yagya. The performance of Sankirtan Yagya is a special concession for human society to save people from being affected by known or unknown sinful activities. We are surrounded by unlimited sins, and therefore it is compulsory that one take to Krishna consciousness and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Tataschavrita snana viduta shesha kilbisha saraswatya mahanadyam reje vyabhra ivam shuman. Thereafter, having completed ritualistic sacrificial ceremony, Lord Parashuram took the bath known as Avabrita Snana. Standing on the bank of the great river Saraswati, cleared of all sins, Lord Parashuram appeared like the sun in a clear, cloudless sky. So here we have this extraordinary story of appearance and activities of Lord Parashuram. Now we heard already the Leelas. In the last few days we are chanting that pastime, and how Lord Parashuram got upset with his wife. Jamadagni upset with his wife and asked Parashuram to kill her and sons. Then he brought them back to life. Then Kartavya Arjuna's sons killed Jamadagni while he was sitting in meditation worshipping the Lord. This is really bad. Somebody is meditating on the Lord, somebody is Brahmana, and his head was chopped off. And now the Parashurama got angry. He killed all of the sons of Kartavya Arjuna and brought the head back of his father, put it back together, laid on kusha grass, and did the sacrifice. Why the sacrifice is done? He brought him back to life by the power of Vedic Yagya. So this is amazing. And this is explained in this shloka, that he joined his father's head to the dead body and placed the whole body and the head upon kusha grass. By offering sacrifices, he began to worship Lord Vasudeva, who is the all-pervading super soul of all the demigods and of every living entity. Then after sacrifice is done, sacrifice, this we must understand, the concept of sacrifice. It's a big topic. It's the main topic of all Vedic literature is sacrifice, yagya. Comes from the Sanskrit root yaj. Yaj means to worship, adore, offer oblation, sacrifice, present offering. Sacrifice means to give up something valuable, something precious for the pleasure of superior, for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and Devatas. That's the concept. Yajurveda, the same word, yaj, is meant for that. The concept of sacrifice is there because jiva came from the spiritual world to the material world with consciousness polluted with the desire to enjoy material world. So now the whole process of Vedic rites, rituals, sacrifices, of all the yogas, of all the methods of controlling the senses, of all the spiritual disciplines, sadhanas, is to go home back to Godhead, is to purify our consciousness that we are enjoyers to that Lord is enjoyer. We are chanting every morning when we have darshan, Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami. You are the supreme enjoyer. Purusha means enjoyer. Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami. We are chanting every day because we are thinking we are enjoyers. We are in bodily consciousness, bodily concept of life. I'm this body and I'm going to be happy by satisfying my senses, my mind, my intellect, but my ego. But actually this is misconception. The Atma is related to the Supreme Lord. The Lord is Supreme Soul and we are Spirit Soul, eternal servants of the Lord. Dasa bhuto harereva nanyasyaiva kadachana. The Jiva is always, in all circumstances, whether conditioned or liberated, Jiva is always servant of the Lord. But in conditioned life, Jiva is not aware. Jiva is trying to serve our own senses. So what Veda says yagya, sacrifice. Sacrifice. Give up your idea of enjoyment. Give up, control your mind, senses, objects of enjoyment, offer to the Lord. You'll get moksha. The goal is moksha. We know what is moksha. Moksha means to serve eternally the Lord. Even impersonal moksha is described in the Vedas, but the ultimate aim is to return home back to Godhead. So all the Vedas teach that. Karma Kanda is major portion of the Vedas. The majority of Vedas describe this. You sacrifice, give up what you want. Harvest comes, give up the rice, offer the ghee, offer in oblations, offer the sesame, offer the different yagyas are there. Soma yagya contains all kinds of varieties of juices. Juice from the soma plant is offered in the yagya, and then you go to heaven. And juice from different plants is offered. We offer paddy, we offer the barley, we offer the black sesame, we offer the ghee for devatas particularly. So yagyas are there, and when you chant this yagya, it's very clear, very direct instruction. Idam Vishnave, idam namama. This is for Lord Vishnu, this is not for me. This is what means the mantra. Idam Achyuta, idam namama. This is for Lord Achyuta, not for me. Idam Narayana, idam namama. This is for Lord Narayan, is not meant for me, for his pleasure. It's very clear, the direct concept. We are not the enjoyers. We are not the center of the universe. Vishnu is, Krishna is. Everything is centered around him. And everything is meant for his pleasure. Everything belongs to him. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. If everything belongs to him, everything should be using his service. Therefore you can see when you join temple, first they teach you, come in temple, offer pranam. You are not the enjoyer. Bow down. There is superior enjoyer. Adi Purush is here. Come in front of Prabhupada. Bow down. He is superior. He is servant of the Lord. He is pure devotee. Bow down to the deities. Every time. How many times we bow down per day? Not enough. How many times we bow down? Not enough. But everything is meant for that one single purpose, that we become servants of the Lord. We are not enjoyers. So all the Vedas are meant to teach yagya, sacrifice, give up that idea of enjoying material world. Though apparently Vedas offer you first enjoyment through the yagyas. They say if you want to have son, do this yagya. You want to have wealth, property, do this yagya. If you want to go to heaven, do that yagya. Follow the vratas, give different vows, you commit, and then you perform. And everything is meant for purification. Everything is meant for gradual upliftment. Everything is meant to deliver us from the material bondage. Yagya artha karmanyonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. If we don't do this, all our activities will bind us. Anything will bind us, good or bad. In material world, material activity, good or bad, both are bad because both are binding us. You may be good person by the material estimate, good person. What is good person? I'm good, I give in charity, I don't lie, I don't steal, I don't drink, I don't eat meat, I'm good person. But are you worshipper of God? Are you lover of God? Are you devotee of the God? No. Then you are asura. You are not good person. and you have to take birth again. So good and bad is only judged according to your understanding of who is supreme and what is your relation with him, sambandha jnana. If that is not understood, then good, there is no good, you're bad. If you don't worship Lord who given everything, to whom everything belongs to, including you and me, we also belong to Lord. We are not on our own living, we are not self-manifested. Lord created the jivas, Lord manifested jivas. You may say it did not happen in the course of time, so how can you say Lord created us? But eternally we exist. Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, eternally we exist as His part and parcel. We are His Shakti, we are Prakriti, we are His energy. We have to be engaged in His service. So this is the path of moksha, this is the system. So yagyas, Vedas means yagya. Yagyo vai Vishnuhu. And who is the ultimate? Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarva lokamesha. Sugriram Vishnu. Vishnu is the object of all oblations, of all sacrifice, of all worship, of all adoration, of all prayers. He is the goal of everything. Yagyo vai Vishnuhu. Yagya means Vishnu. Yes, Agni is worshipped through Agni. Agni is messenger of Devatas. Through him, Devatas get oblation. Through him, Vishnu gets oblation. Okay? So, any Vedic sacrifice, Agni appears first, fire. And then in fire, you put your offering, and Agni carries this offering to different Devatas. They become pleased. When we do sacrifice for Diksha Yagya, we call Vaishnava Agni. We call the Vishnu's form of Agni to preside over Vaishnava sacrifice. We don't worship regular Devatas in our sacrifice. But commonly in Vedic lore, the Devatas are worshipped. Devatas are worshipped, give you material benefit, and also they lead you gradually to the understanding that Vishnu is supreme. And then you surrender to Vishnu. And then you stop repeated birth or death, which is real problem of material world. So, Yagyas exist. Prabhupada writes in one paper that, this is all in the Puranas, that Yagya started from the beginning of creation. As soon as material world is created, the method, how to come out of it is also created. Bhagavan given the material world for jivas to try to enjoy this material life and try to be independent enjoyer from the Lord. And once the jiva realizes this, turns again to God and starts worshipping Him. So Bhagavan given the guidelines, the Vedas, the method, the process, how to come out of material world. And these Vedas begin, the Lord Brahma, who was first created living being, first jiva in material world, he received the Vedas from the Lord. He got the Diksha, he got the Vedas from his four mouth, four heads he has. From his four mouth, four Vedas are spoken, manifested within the world. Vedas are eternal. These are eternal instruction. The knowledge of God, that is Veda. The knowledge how to come to God, that is Veda. The knowledge about God, about Jiva, about material, the knowledge of everything, that is Veda. Veda means knowledge. So from his east mouth, Rig Veda is created. And this, you can see, Dadao Prachim, Disham Hotre. Hotre, you can see in the purport. Parashuram given different, and after the yagya is done, you have to give dakshina to priests. So here again, I had the same shloka, I think, when Lord Ram given charity, correct? Yeah, I got this type of purpose. Okay, Hotri. Hotri, unto the priest known as Hota. Brahmane, unto priest known as Brahma. Dakshinam, sounder, Disham, direction. Advarya priest. Advaryu. 4 priests are required for sacrifice. 4 priests, they chant 4 Vedas. So from east mouth, Rig Veda is created and Hotri is created, the Hota priest. The Hota priest is one who chants Rig Veda mantras. He invokes the Devatas. If you see Rig Veda, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of stotras worshipping Lord Indra, Agni, Vayu, Surya, mostly Indra. So the Rig Vedic priest, he in sacrifice will be sitting on side and chanting the mantras for oblation. He will be invoking Devatas. He is one who beautifully chants the mantras, invoke devatas to come and accept the offerings. This is the Rig Veda chanter here. And then you have Brahma Priest, Advaryava Priest. Advaryu here, you can see here Advaryava. Oops. Advaryu priest known as Advaryu. So Advaryu priest is chanter of Yajurveda. And Yajurveda is full of methods prescribing yagyas. So he is the one, all four priests are important, but he is the one who does the oblation. He is the one who actually Khotri puts the sacrificial fire. Advaryu, he measures the ground for the yagya. He arranges what kind of kunda should be done. He sanctifies all paraphernalia. By his Yajurvedic mantra, he changes something which day before nothing was here, and now today there's big sacrificial kunda and is purified, becomes the holy, becomes gate to reach the gods. By the mantra, he turns what is material into spiritual. Just like when you have this vivaha homam, yagya is done, and then priest declares at one moment, from now you are husband and wife. Just by saying this sound vibration, they are accepted as husband and wife. 1 second before, they were not husband and wife. And now priest just said it. There's nothing else happened. It's not that some face changes or something. Just declaration is there in front of yagya, in front of God. Now I declare you husband and wife. No? And they turn, they become husband and wife. So same thing, this Yajurvedi priest, the Advaryu priest, he purifies everything, he chants, he sanctifies everything, the offerings, whether they have fruits or grains or animal or whatever, he sanctifies everything, paraphernalia, yagya kunda. He suggested what should be done, what direction. He segregated the place, this is sacred place, now he purifies everything. He just completely changed material atmosphere into spiritual ground for the yagya performance. And then Udgatre, priest known as Udgata, Uchair Gayati. Uchair you have in Tamil Nadu. How you say it in Tamil? Chant Hare Krishna. How you say? Uchair. It's a pure Sanskrit. Uchair means loudly, Gayatri, Gayati, to sing loudly. So this is Samavedi. Samaveda he chants. He sits on the other side and chants Samaveda. Samaveda is nothing but Rig Veda mantras put in the meter of singing. Very complex, very beautiful to behold. Krishna says in Gita, of all the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Most beautiful to hear. Still you can hear in South India, still Brahmanas are sitting and chanting Samaveda. So he will sit there and again please the devatas, offer beautiful prayers in beautiful singing mode, the Udgata priest. And then you have a Brahma priest, the one who is Atharvin, who chants Atharva Veda. He is the person who supervises all the ceremony, and he sees that chanting is done properly, that mantras are pronounced properly, that order is followed, that timings are proper, that proper oblations are put in proper time and in proper order for different devatas. There is an order. There is a highest demigod, there is a lower demigod, there is a whole system how to do that. So this is Atharvin. So these four priests, Prabhupada many times mentioned this in his purports. Many times, it's quite a few times. He mentions these four priests required. So 4 Vedas are chanted. And so like this, from Brahma's east face, from his head facing east, Rig Veda is created. From south, Yajurveda. From the west, Samaveda. From the north, Atharva Veda. So all these activities of different Brahmanas also, they are manifested in these different directions. So they are given this dakshina, because they are the ritviks. Ritvik means on your behalf they do something. They are priests that we cannot directly reach the God. We cannot directly worship devatas. So they are the Brahmanas who are trained, who are qualified to, on our behalf, do the oblation, do the sacrifice. They can please the devatas, they communicate, they know how to link by the process of yajna. So priests are very important, that respect is given, nice clothes are given. You can see in Mahabharata, when yajnas are done, priests are treated like devatas, they're dressed like devatas, they're given so much clothes and cows and gold and grains, so much in charity. Why is it so? Because the jiva, when it comes in material world, the only key, the only way to go back home, back to Godhead, is transcendental knowledge. And that transcendental knowledge is given to Brahmanas to preserve it, to hold it, to teach it. Why to Brahmanas? Who are the Brahmanas? Brahmanas are also jivas like you and me, but they are situated in sattva gun. Their mind is sattvic. Sattvic what means? They have no material desire of enjoying material world. That is the idea. Or, you may say, then why they took birth in material world? Some desire is there, but it's done with worship of Vishnu, with worship of the God. They say, yes, Lord, I have material desire, but I worship you, I pray to you, you please give material benefits to us. But not that they will go for vikarma, for something sinful, not they will lie and cheat and to get money. That's not Brahmana. Brahmana means truthful, honest, self-control, sense control. Shamo, Dhamma, Stapa, Shocham. These are the Brahmanas. And therefore Vedas, Bhagavan given Vedas to them. You preserve it. They memorize the Vedas and they practice and they teach the Vedas and they behave in the Vedic, according to Vedic conduct. So these Brahmanas are so important because if they get corrupted, if they collapse, the only way to go home back to water is gone and lost forever. So therefore Krishna, Brahmana, Namo Devago Brahmana Hita. Krishna worships Brahmanas. He protects Brahmanas. He eats through Brahmanas' mouth. He accepts charity through the charity to Brahmanas. He washes feet of Sudama Vipra. Vipra means Brahmana. So important these Brahmanas are there. It's very important. But again, it's not by birth. Chaturvanya maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasya. Guna karma, according to quality. So therefore, so much emphasis is given. They were not given other jobs. They were not given other activities. This is most important. You preserve the Vedas. Memorize them. Practice them. Protect them. Don't twist the meaning. As it is, preserve. Then jivas have hope of going home back to Godhead. Otherwise, gone. We are in material world. Bhagavan has to come and rescue us. And this is what happens in the Kali Yuga. At the end of Kali Yuga, the Vedas are twisted, the gurus are bogus, the sadhus are cheaters, the leaders are sinful, and everything is lost. Everybody becomes sinful because Brahmanas are lost. The world degrades with the degradation of Brahmanas. This is how Bhagavatam starts. The boy curses King Parikshit, which was not necessary. And Prabhupada writes, Kali enters with the degradation of Brahmanas. If there is no head of the society, body, social body, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, it is body without head in Kali Yuga. Body without head, it just runs around aimlessly, without direction. What is the life? What is the goal of life? So this is so important, this Brahminical culture. And Prabhupada said, this movement is made to make Brahmanas. We are not Brahmanas by birth. Neither we are super Brahmanas by qualities. We are getting trained. But you can see the system, what Prabhupada instituted in ISKCON. Rise early in the morning. These are Brahmanas. Take bath 3 times a day, Prabhupada said. Brahmanas. Don't touch left hand, don't touch mouth, don't touch ear, don't touch eyes, don't poke your nose. Brahmanas. Don't eat with left hand. Shuchi, Muchi, watch out this, watch out, deity worship, offerings, yagyas, preaching, studying on Shastra. These are all Brahmanical activities. No? This is meant for sattvic people, meant to make us sattvic, meant to make us devotees. But one who is in sattva gun is easier to become devotee because it's easier to focus your mind, easier to think of Lord, easier to do these Brahminical activities. If you're so much infested with passion and tamagun, then it's difficult to chant. You sleep, we sleep, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, we asleep, or we can't sit, we have to walk, we have to go around, we have to, we have to do something. Okay, chanting, finish chanting, let me do some activity, because of not situated in sattva gun. Fine, these are all fine. The idea is that movement is meant to produce Brahmanas, to guide society, to tell the society. Today people do not know, 99% of people in the world do not know that they have to take birth again and die again and take birth again and die again till they become devotees of the Lord. And this is happening, you believe it or you not believe it. These are the laws of material nature. Karmana daiva netrena. We are all bound by karma in the hands of devatas. So all these priests, Advaryu priest, he starts the fire by arani wood. Prabhupada mentions in the purport also that he will start the fire by rubbing the wood fire, not with matchbox. So nowadays you see there is a problem doing these yagyas. The priests are rare, the qualified priests are rare to do this. Each priest will have another 3 assistants. That's why it's mentioned to others are given different notice. Southwest there's other annebhya. Unto the others he given other charity. Because each priest has 3 assistants. Then you have the yajaman, person on whose behalf yagya is done. That is the king or the queen, the husband and wife, they have to sit together. And therefore you can see in Vedas, grihastas are instructed to do the yagyas. On their behalf, sannyasis and brahmacharis will do. Sannyasis not exactly, but brahmanas, priests, ritviks will do, But the grihastas, that is their duty, to do these yagyas. Indeed, you will see in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned this pancha yagya, karma bandhana, okay, they were discussing, kill. Okay, for example, we do not want to do, we do some sinful activities. For example, one may trample many small ants and other insects while walking on the street and kill many living beings unknowingly. Vedas explain panchasuna. Prabhupada mentioned quite a few purposes, panchasuna. What is it? The 5 sinful activities that grihastha commits. Everyone commits. What is that? You are cooking on firewood. By putting fire, you kill some poochie, some insect, somebody is there in the wood or in the place. You burn the flies while putting fire. You broom with the broomstick, you kill living entities. A water pot, when you're fetching water, in water pot somebody dies, that is 3rd one. And 2 more are these grinders. One is that wet grinder and one is that paster, for pasting, grinders for the masalas. Wet, dry grinder, the pastel, you're hitting. These are another 2. Where inevitably, in Jira, there is sometimes some puji. What do? You don't see on this old Jira, every Jira you are not inspecting. And even if you're inspecting, maybe it's already inside. So, we do sinful activities. So, these are this panchasuna, Prabhupada say. So, for what is it? Panchasuna, kritam papam, panchayagyayar, vyapohati. Panchayagya vapohati. To counteract this panchasuna, 5 sins, you have to do panchayagyas. Panchayagya is mentioned here. Therefore, the very principle of panchayagya, 5 kinds of recommended sacrifice, is compulsory. So, grihastha must do 5 sacrifices per day. Every day he must do 5 things. What are the 5 things? One thing is the regular deva yagya. Panchayagya means one is deva yagya. You do offer ghee oblation, fire sacrifice. Every householder has to do fire sacrifice, according to Vedic system. So devatas are pleased. So ghee is offered into the fire every day, in every house, to be free from papa. Veda says also, because of these insects in the food and impurity of ingredients, if you pour ghee on the food for offering, ghee itself is purifying agent. Food becomes free from sin if cooked on ghee. It doesn't mention cooking on oil, by the way. All right. Ghee is purifying agent. So, Deva Yagya. Then, you have to feed other Manushya Yagya. You feed some other people who need food and give some charity. Dana should be given. Manushya Yagya. You feed some animals. You can see Brahmin families always keep little rice outside for the crows. or they feed the cows. So Bhuta Yagya, you have to feed the animals also. And so Deva Yagya, Manushya Yagya, Bhuta Yagya, and there is study of the Vedas. That's the most important one. That is Yagya of knowledge. Real Yagya is that we actually sacrifice ourselves, our own material desires, give up and act for the pleasure of the Lord. So getting transcendental knowledge, this is also Veda Yagya. The getting transcendental knowledge, that also must be done. So every house should study, get the transcendental knowledge, do the Yagya for Devatas, feed others, feed the animals. Did I mention all 5? Manushya Yagya, Bhuta Yagya, Deva Yagya, study 4. And which is the 5th one? Veda is 5th one. Which is one is missing, correct? Yes. Pitri Yagya, exactly, Pitri Yagya. And the forefathers, to please forefathers. So that oblation is done by offering, in Achman you can offer oblation of water, or if you're in bank of Holy River, you can do the water oblations, Pitri Yagya. That one was missing. So these 5 should be done every day. So who is doing? No one is doing. Very few Brahmanas are doing it, So therefore, Yagya Sankirtana Prayayar Yajanti Sumedasa. If we are intelligent, we'll join Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's the idea, that we get purified by chanting the holy name. That's what Prabhupada writes. Concession, concession, concession. The great concession is given people in general. Now you know why great concession is given. Neither we are qualified to study Vedas, neither we have priests to do all these yagyas, neither we have money to give in charity, neither we can focus our mind on other processes like dhyana, that meditation of the Lord, simply by chanting the holy name. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalau nastya, 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 gatir anyata. So that is recommended here. So, and we worship Lord Chaitanya to bless us that we are able at least to finish our rounds, follow 4 principles, remain in association of devotees, and remain engaged in the service of the Lord. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, any comments? Yes, Prabhupada. He'll give you a mic.
The sacrifice,
I can't hear anything. Wait for the sound.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Jamadagni, he was doing sacrifice to Supreme Lord Vasudeva. In spite of that, he was killed.
Yeah.
I mean, he is killed means, usually we say that at the time of death, if a person thinks of Lord, he is supposed to go back, home back.
Right.
So now he has done that, and maybe whatever the reason he has died. But again, Parashuram bringing him back.
Right.
So this
Okay.
little bit of...
Okay, got it. So his question is that Jamadagni was sitting in yoga meditation and worshipping the Lord and meditating upon Lord when Kartavi Rajanu's sons came and cut his head off. So one who thinks of Lord in time of death, he'll go home back to Godhead. Yeah, he would have gone back home, back to Godhead, if Parashuram didn't have purpose to bring him back. So, because there was a purpose to fulfill, which is ultimately Lord's plan, the Parashuram was able to bring him back to life, and he serves even today. He is present in one of the mountains and waiting for his next service to the Lord. He is present, he is alive now, living somewhere in this universe. You will see in next few purports, Prabhupada mentions this, of this Leela will come. I don't want to spoil the next speaker's topic. So there was a purpose there. But he was killed because of inappropriate punishment of his wife. He got reaction to that. And Prabhupada writes here, even Lord Parashuram, look at this, he had to get purified by sacrifice. He got free from sin, okay? And we become Vyabra cloudless, Iva Amshuman, Amshuman, just like a sun. Iva Amshuman. He became golden, effulgent, like a sun. So, he is incarnation of the Lord. See, Shakti Avesha Avatar, still Veda says, apparently he was affected by the sin, he has to get purified. So this is then who we are. Message is very clear. Of course, Avatar is never affected by the sin, but the message is clear that everyone is doing some sin. You heard the Prabhupada purport, even insect, even now, even going to temple you are killing, stepping on somebody's head. Some insect is there, somebody, no? It's inevitable, you can't avoid it. You don't want it, but whoever is born material has to do something, willingly or unwillingly. So therefore, you have to get purified. What is it? Yagya. Process of purification must be followed. So I'll give you some idea. Yeah. Any other comments, questions? Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Premanand.